Hello and welcome back to the channel. It is week 2 of the 100 to a million challenge, and to be totally honest with you, it's not going particularly well, but really it's only because there's barely been any trades this week. In fact, I've only just taken one trade this week and it was a loss, and overall it's just been affected. The markets have been affected by these Trump tariffs that are going on, and for me it seems to just made price completely disrespect any supply and demand zones that I had marked out. It's just completely whacked through any recent ranges that I was looking to trade from, and this is across all pairs it seems. Yeah, it's kind of just a waiting game at the moment. It's unfortunate that the timing of this challenge has coincided with this, and we're just kind of waiting out for price to stabilize a little bit and go back to the way it was before, and hopefully it won't take too long to do that. So what I'm going to do to keep things interesting while that price settles for my main strategy is take a strategy that I've heard about, just a really simple going with the trend kind of scalping strategy, and take a separate account and try to see if we can make that work as well. So it's going to be trading two strategies, two separate accounts, I guess my strategy versus this one, and doing a battle, see which one does better overall. Now this is a really simple strategy. It's from a channel called The Moving Average, and he put this out there a couple of years ago, and someone I've been talking to lately said they've been using it and it's working well for them. Shout out to Artie from that channel. Let's give it a go. So the simple premise behind this strategy is that we are using three separate indicators, which are the three smoothed moving average, which are these three lines here, fractals, which are these triangles you can see, and the relative strength index, which is this graph down here. Now, in very simple terms, all what we're waiting for are the green and the white line, which are the 21 and the 50, to move above the red line, which is the 200 moving average, as well as the RSI to be above the 50% line, in order to confirm that we are in an uptrend, and obviously the opposite for a downtrend. The green and white need to be below the red line and the RSI needs to be below the 50. That confirms we're in a downtrend. And then what we want to see is a fractal, which is the triangles here. We want to see one form, so a green one to form to give us a buy signal, or a red one to form to give us a sell signal. So as you can see here on Euro US dollar, we've actually just had the green line as well as the white line cross the red line, so that is our first indicator. We also have the RSI being above the 50. So now we're just waiting for another one of these green arrows to print so we can then get involved in our first trade for this strategy. So yeah, kind of see if that gives us anything. Okay, so I entered a trade here. You see, the green was above, the white was above, the yellow was above, and we got this fractal printed here. And so I entered. I waited for price to pull back a little bit because I wanted like a maximum of 10 pip stop loss, and then just thinking to target this wick, this FOMC wick to the left over here. Unfortunately what I did was I forgot to change the risk, so this is risking just 1% on a £100 account rather than 10%, so if it hits the target it's going to be like £2.50, which is fine. It's still 2.5%, and you know, it's the first trade I've ever taken on this strategy, so yeah, it's currently in profit though, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, while we wait for that to play out, for the other strategy today, my main strategy, I was looking at this move on AUD CHF this morning. Something was actually setting up for once, and it was this 4-hour zone. New York tapped into it yesterday, and then overnight Asia ranged within it. Then we had a nice sweep this morning, then Frankfurt took Asia, so we had like an Asia session sweep. And then we had this nice change of character here, and basically I wanted an entry of around 4.4 pips here, and was waiting for price to tag me in. It never did. It pushed all the way down to around 3%, 3R, and at this point I've gone break even, so I did not want to enter the trade if it pulled back at this point. And as you can see, it pushed up, took out the zone, and then ultimately crashed to oblivion. And there was a similar entry on CAD Swiss, and again, same kind of thing, 4-hour zone we have here. Price came straight into it yesterday during New York, and this morning came and took out that New York high with Frankfurt. Then London came and took out the Frankfurt high, and we chocked, change of character. But again, I was looking for a tighter stop loss, and price never came back, and then it just plummeted. So no entry there really to get involved in, unless you had like a stop order here with a pretty hefty 10 pip stop loss. Still could have gotten 5R, but you know, it is what it is, and those were the trades that I haven't been involved in. So we carry on and wait for our entries to present themselves. What I like to always see, and to show that the market is going back to kind of a normalcy, is that price is now reacting to where I expect it to react, which is this 4-hour zone, and having this expected reaction. Just this time, unfortunately, it doesn't let me into the trade, but to see that it's doing what I expect it to do, and knowing that eventually there will be a trade where it allows me in, that makes me happy to see and confident that the markets will be returning to a level of stability that is actually tradable very soon. So we're all good. And now here we are back to that trade on the MT5. As you can see, the profit is pretty small, but times that by 10 and it's what it should be. So yeah, it should be around 18% at the moment, with the ultimate TP being about £2.14. In which case, if I had done the risk properly, this would be about on par after this trade with how the other account was doing. So yeah, and that's if it hits TP. But yeah, it's a good start for this funny little strategy that I've completely not tested and have no idea whether it'll work or not. And there we go. We hit a TP. Okay, great. So I've been monitoring this new strategy for a lot of today, and yeah, it's been giving win after win, which is really quite something. I've only taken one of them. I'm too inexperienced to take too many, although there have been a lot of opportunities. It's kind of difficult to stay on top of all of them. But now the account, as you can see here, is at plus 12%. I took a 10% trade, as you can see here, on G pound Swiss, and yeah, been really promising. There's been a ton of trades today. I could have taken a lot more profit. So yeah, this could make for a really good sister strategy when one strategy is not doing so good or just isn't giving the entries. Well, the market plays around a bit. You have more of a scalping strategy, which you can take at any time, and it's good to be able to do that, to switch between the two easily. So yeah, this is really cool, and it is catching up with the other account, and could easily have overtaken it today. So yeah, this is heating up now. Okay, now we're officially above the other account. You see here, £125 is what the new account is on, whereas the previous one is at 123. So we are this new scalping strat has taken off. It's taken over, and it is immune to the whole tariff situation. So let's go. We have a real battle on our hands now. Okay, so we've now reached the end of week 2, and in summary, what we have now are 2 competing strategies, and really that's only been introduced due to the current market conditions to make it a little bit more entertaining, both for myself and for you, the viewers. I only took one trade this week with my usual pulse strategy, and it was a loss. So we're currently at about 23% on that account, and so we're down 10% this week, and we are up 25% on the new strategy account. Now, I wouldn't recommend just going and finding a random strategy and starting to trade that out of the blue. I'm only purely doing this just for an added entertainment value for this, and we're going to just see how that goes. But yeah, I'm happy with how I'm doing so far, even though I'm not on track. If we want to be doubling the account every week, nowhere near on track with that, but due to the unforeseen current market conditions that we are dealing with, I'm happy with having not blown any accounts yet, and that I'm not over trading, and I'm being very careful and selective about when I get involved in the market until things stabilize and get a little bit more back to normal, which is hopefully not going to be too long now. But yeah, hope your trading hasn't been affected too much and that you are being cautious and doing well, and we will continue into week 3 along the same route and hoping for the best.